And this has been one of the bright spots for the Michigan State Spartans.
Jake Tucker, 22-5 overall as a junior. Kaleb Young, 12-2.
And at 157, so Jake Tucker, you have Cam Caffey at 184 and Christian Repetaro at 285. Those are the only 3 weight classes that the Michigan State Spartans have had the same starter in every duel.
Wow. Okay. Interesting stat right there. We'll see if this is the one that Michigan State can get the win on. They dropped the first 4, so the halfway point. We'll see if they can get something before going into halftime.
And they absolutely need something before going into halftime, because if you look at the back half of the lineup outside of Cam Caffey, I'd say that the Iowa Hawkeyes are favored in 4 of those 5.
This could be a bad start for Jake Tucker already. Tucker avoided a really bad situation right there. But, but again, this has been kind of a common thing with Tucker, is that he kind of starts off slow and then he gets going later in the match.
And that was so nice. And from the top position from Young. Young started on that right side with a deep collar tie, and he allowed himself to get all the way to the spine of Jake Tucker before coming back to the left and constantly readjusted. But Jake Tucker comes up to his feet and picks up the 1 point for the escape.
After it looked like an early exit for Tucker, he finds a way to get the escape point out of it.
And how about if Jake Tucker would have given up that defensive fault? Because he was extremely close, but he puts himself in funky situations. If you look back to a couple weeks ago when he picked up the defensive fall, and then last week picked up a reversal, I believe, in that situation to score the win, and now, luckily, he only gave up 2 there and not the 6.
Look at Kaleb Young go after Tucker, but again, Tucker gets out of it. He puts himself in dangerous situations, but finds a way to get out of it. Again, he kind of starts off slow, but once he gets settled in, he becomes very dangerous.
And it's all because he's aware of where his hips are at all times, and he's long and he's lanky, so he's had to adjust through his wrestling career to find an understanding of those hips, and he's really starting to come into his own.
Kaleb Young, though, puts 2 more up on the board, leads 4-1 here in period number 1 of match number 5. Tucker has got to find a way to get out of this.
It's going to take 1 knee at a time, building a base, 1 knee at a time.
Under 20 seconds to go here. That riding time going up right at 55 seconds. And it hits 1 minute. So in essence, Kaleb Young has the bonus point as of right now for the riding time. And that's the end of the first period. So not the best one for Tucker, but a good start for Kaleb Young for Iowa. But we move on to the second period here. Tucker will start out on top, as Tucker, the 23rd ranked wrestler in the country, leads the team with 22 wins on the season.
And he's one of those guys who I honestly believe could make some noise at the NCAA championships if he's peaking at the right time. And of course, that's the key right there, is peaking at the right time and understanding that the moment isn't bigger than the work that you've put in through 11 and a half months. If he could show up with a good head, healthy body, he can make some noise at the NCAA championships. And the reason being is because he can score on his feet, and he's a great rider in the top position. And if you can pick up that 1 point riding time, it's critical when you get to those 2-1, 3-2 matches.
Just over a minute to go here as Tucker tries to go in for the legs of Kaleb Young. Can't do it, though. We break the 1 minute mark here. Kaleb Young still with the essentially a 6-1 lead if you add the 1 minute of riding time. See if Tucker can do anything before the end of the period. Under 40 seconds to go.
Stop the high crouch attempt. I know what I'm paying attention to here from Kaleb Young is his hands are never, both hands are never stationary. He's always moving,
his hands, yep.
one hand at a time. And that's constantly, he's adjusting the position. And it's just those little battles that might not show up on paper, or they don't show up on paper, but they win matches. Controlling the ties.
So that's the end of period number 2. Not a lot of action in that period right there, but Kaleb Young still has the 5-1 lead, essentially 6-1 if you add the 1 minute of riding time.
Deep, tight waist, and once again, looking for that claw, and he gets the claw all the way to the spine before he jumps. So he starts his motion on the right side, and then once he touches that spine, he jumps over to the left side, gets his tight waist, and then looks to jump sides to get that tilt. Jake Tucker has to work on getting that right leg out. Elbows are going to be tight. Going to be critical. That right elbow has to come inside that right leg. But Kaleb Young able to work up in that top position and break Jake Tucker down. And when your hips are down, your head's down, you're not getting up.
Just over a minute to go. 1:10 here in the third period. As Tucker falls back down to the mat. As we are nearing 2 minutes of riding time here. Not much Tucker can really do right here in this position. Hasn't been very eventful. Just Tucker's really just hasn't been able to get control. Kaleb Young, though, look at him go to the edge of the mat. So they will reset back in the middle here. 39 seconds to go.
The coaching staff for the Spartans asking Jake Tucker to get one here.
Got to get to his feet. But Kaleb Young doing a good job of not letting Tucker get that one escape point.
Jake Tucker fights a hand, and that was something he wasn't doing. He was coming up to his feet, but he wasn't hand fighting once he came up to his feet. That time he came up to his feet, grabbed the right hand, which allowed him to get that hip out, create some separation, and pick up the 1 point for the escape.
Kaleb Young goes in on the right leg of Tucker with under 10 seconds to go here. And that is the end of match number 5 here at Iowa. Takes the first 5 matches of the day.